She's a political heroine to millions.
I consider her to be a personal role model.
I think she's a great woman.
And a lightning rod for millions more.
They definitely love to hate her.
She's a lying, political, immoral weasel.
In the Senate, she's earned high marks for her low profile.
If you want to be a good senator, you have to start at the bottom. Don't feel that you're anything special, anything above anybody else, because you're not.
Until now.
Our new #1 best-selling author.
Follow me.
She's definitely going to run for president and she's going to win.
13, 14, 15.
Here, I got the book.
Tonight, the junior senator from New York returns to the spotlight.
From ABC News. This is Nightline. Reporting from Washington, Chris Bury.
The irony is that Hillary Rodham Clinton has spent much of the last 2 years avoiding the limelight. Freshman senators are supposed to keep their heads down, and Mrs. Clinton has been savvy enough not to upstage her more senior colleagues in the Senate. But her new book and all the hoopla surrounding it have changed all that on any number of levels. For one thing, it's a publishing phenomenon, from her reported $8 million advance to the 1 million hardcover copies printed on the first run. It's also a major political event, reviving interest in Hillary Clinton's future at a moment when the current Democratic crop hasn't stirred much passion. And then there is simply the Hillary factor. Perhaps no other woman in American life has such a capacity to start an argument merely by mention of her first name. Her version of events during the Clinton years has revived many of the old debates about everything from health care reform to her ever-changing hairstyles and the role of women in power. But we begin tonight by looking at her latest job performance as the junior senator from New York. The latest chapter in Hillary Clinton's life, if not her book, begins with this limousine ride from the White House to the Capitol. No other woman had ever made that journey from First Lady to United States Senator.
Do you solemnly swear that you will support and defend the Constitution of the United States?
Like so much in her political and personal life, this moment stirred up a swirl of questions. How would Hillary emerge from her husband's shadow? Could she shed all that political baggage? How would she handle her historic new role? Even then, in those very first weeks, another question surfaced incessantly.
What are the chances that you will become the ultimate role model, our first female president?
Well, I'm going to be the senator from New York for my full term, and that's what I'm focused on. That's my only objective.
At first, controversy followed her like a cloud. Her brother's role in those last-minute pardons.
You know, I did not have any involvement in the pardons that were granted or not granted, you know, and I'm just very disappointed about my brother's involvement.
Those reports, exaggerated as it turns out, of the Clintons carrying off White House gifts.
If you look on a yearly basis over the 8 years, we received gifts that are valued at about the same amount as the Bushes received in 4 years.
And along with it, all the press so attracted to Hillary, the lightning rod.
The White House years, the administration of my husband are over, and I'm going to be focused solely on the job that I can do to help New York be taken care of and to do what I think is in the best interest of New Yorkers.
Now she was a freshman in an institution that frowned on such notoriety among newcomers, and no one frowned more than Senator Robert Byrd, the ranking Democrat, master of rules, keeper of traditions, key to appropriations, and therefore to Hillary Clinton's new career.
Senator, it is said that you have a disdain for celebrity senators. Is that fair?
Well, I'm not taken in by celebrity senators. They all have to start at the bottom as far as I'm concerned. That's the way I started. And when they come to me and want to know how to be senators, that's what I tell them.
What did you tell Mrs. Clinton when she came to see you? And she was already First Lady of the United States.
I said, you start at the bottom, You don't start at the top. We know who you are. We know what you've been. You're the former First Lady. Don't feel that you're anything special, anything above anybody else, because you're not.
Did Mrs. Clinton charm you just a little bit?
I'm not a very easy person to charm. They have to work hard at charming me, because I owe them nothing. They owe me nothing. I've been here 45 years in the Senate. I'm not here to be charmed. I'm very serious about the Senate.
And so, apparently, was Hillary Clinton. The former First Lady, so accustomed to the red carpet treatment in every corner of the globe, now immersed herself in a freshman senator's unglamorous grind.
What's at stake is the survival of the so-called ergonomic standard. Extend unemployment insurance benefits, the National Construction Safety Team Act of 2002. Our infrastructure needs. Today's vote by the Commerce Committee is a real victory for consumers and children.
She dutifully plowed ahead, knowing her place in the Senate pecking order and perfecting that exaggerated nod on podium after podium. The new senator, once known as such a combative partisan, now courted and complimented her Republican colleagues.
And I want to pay a particular tribute to Senator Nichols, who worked with us all day yesterday.
And the compliments were mutual.
And today I'm honored to have a very valued colleague with me, my fellow senator from New York.
Here we go.
Even skeptical Republicans came to respect Hillary Clinton's professionalism, if not her politics, according to veteran analyst Stuart Rothenberg.
They thought that she would come to Capitol Hill as the former First Lady, the celebrity, and throw her weight around. And instead, she walks around with a yellow pad, she takes notes, she's very collegial. When other members ask her to stop by and talk to a group, she will do so. She's really played the game extremely well. She has not oversold herself. She's been more of a workhorse than a show horse.
She has worked hard. She's genuine. She doesn't pull any punches. And when she speaks on the Senate floor, she has a delivery style that, to me, is real and genuine and forceful.
A thoughtful democracy of voices and opinions who make themselves heard on the great issues of our day.
And I'm an admirer of hers. I grew to be one.
You weren't at first?
I did not start out as an admirer of Ms. Clinton.
So in those critical first months, the former First Lady had undergone a remarkable metamorphosis. And in this new role, close friends say, her famous husband coached quietly from the sidelines.
What role does Bill Clinton play in her Senate life?
He edits her speeches, and you know, he's a great speech maker, and he's a great editor himself. And I'm sure he gives his 2 cents, but she's calling the shots, she's casting the votes, and she's making the decisions.
And soon, something else would force Senator Hillary Clinton to emerge once and for all from her husband's shadow and carve out a clear mission of her own.
This is ABC News Nightline, brought to you by Sprint PCS Vision.
Urgent meeting change.
Dad, I put my face in the water.
EVP and IT TBD.
Happens every time my people travel.
Backed up emails. Couldn't find a phone jack for my laptop. May I? The PCS connection card from Sprint makes laptop connections wireless, so anyone in your company can exchange emails or access your internet when they're out.
Client dinner canceled.
That's efficient. For everyone.
Get PCS connection cards from Sprint for your business and make laptop connections wireless.
Introducing the new Nissan Murano. With all-wheel drive, spacious interior, and 245 horsepower. For your adventures in on-roading.
To Tomorrow, the fight for the right to drink while driving.
Nice, icy cold one.
In some places, it's a way of life, but should it be legal to drink and drive? Tomorrow on World News Tonight.
Behind them is a 19th century cabin with a 19th century roof. Ahead of them is a 21st century modern with a 21st century electrical system. But right now, life is perfect, thanks to a clear sky, a smooth ride, and the electronic four-wheel drive, 260 horsepower Acura MDX.
Cool shoes. Yeah, cute.
Time out! Mike here needs to get in touch with his masculine side, fast. Good thing T-Mobile lets him call whenever he wants. Go.
Hi, honey.
The guys and I are gonna go eat some red meat. I don't know when I'm gonna be home.
Did you say cute again?
Yeah. The most whenever minutes, only from T-Mobile.
Get more.
In the rubble of the World Trade Center, Hillary Clinton, the dutiful freshman workhorse, would find a mission that put her back in the national spotlight. In those first few days, even this former First Lady did not have the visibility of New York's mayor or governor. And there was this awkward moment when some firemen booed her appearance at a charity concert. But along with her senior colleague, Senator Chuck Schumer, Hillary Clinton set out to soothe New York suffering with something tangible, billions in federal aid.
She came to me after the Twin Towers fell, and she wanted help for the people of New York.
Now, the work she'd put into her relationship with Senator Byrd, then chairman of the Appropriations Committee, would pay real dividends.
I yield 20 minutes to the senator from New York, Mrs. Clinton.
As both New York senators pressed him hard.
Upon several occasions, they came to my office seeking help. They were very persuasive. They had the facts. They felt the pain, the sorrows, the trials of their people.
But they also had to come calling at the White House. In a critical meeting with President Bush, Senators Clinton and Schumer won his personal pledge that New York would get up to $20 billion.
It's especially reassuring to all the New Yorkers who are still concerned about their futures and the future of the city.
Eventually, that figure would be cut in half, but it still represented a significant victory, establishing Hillary Clinton as a senator who could come through for her state.
One of the reasons why I have fought hard to get money directly to local communities is because we don't know what the strains are that will come up over the next year. Under a bill that I've been fighting for, Buffalo would have received $2.7 million more for law enforcement.
On most weekends, Mrs. Clinton made the rounds in her adopted home state and shook enough hands,
How are you?
even in Republican regions, to shake off those old campaign charges that she was just an ambitious carpetbagger. But in New York, as nearly everywhere else, Mrs. Clinton has remained a polarizing figure. Political scientist Lee Miringoff has conducted public opinion surveys on Hillary Clinton since she first ran for the Senate.
She has a core group of supporters, Democrats, New York City voters, but in the suburbs and upstate among Republicans, this is a senator who very much has remained in the view as she was when she first took the oath of office to represent New York in the Senate. About the same number of people like her as dislike her. It's a love-hate relationship, and it really hasn't changed in the last couple of years since she's been serving the people of New York.
But Hillary Clinton remains a favorite with her party's core voters. She's among the Democrats' top fundraisers, and her political action committee has raked in at least $3 million for Democratic candidates in just the last 2 years.
Well, Hillary Clinton, still in the world of fundraising among Democrats, is a premier player.
Senator John Corzine chairs the Senate's National Democratic Campaign Committee.
She has star power. If Hillary is on the billing, we get good crowds to turn out. When she writes letters under her signature to our base around the country, they respond.
Hillary Clinton is also effective at raising money for Republicans. Consider this letter from the Republican Presidential Task Force chaired by Senator George Allen. If Republicans don't take immediate steps to counter her, Senator Hillary Clinton will continue to rise unimpeded to the very pinnacle of power, and we will see the dawning of a new, more liberal Clinton era. Neither Senator Allen nor any other Republican leader in the Senate would speak about Hillary Clinton on camera.
She's a polarizing figure, and Republicans use names like Kennedy and Clinton interchangeably when they want to demonize a Democratic candidate or a Democratic issue position. The Republicans like Mrs. Clinton as an enemy. They use her. They think that she's kind of the standard of the opposition, and they use her to raise money.
At first, Senator Clinton kept her partisanship to a minimum. Then she largely confined her criticism of the Bush White House to its homeland security policies.
We have done nothing in over a year to get more funds to the front lines here at home.
But just in the last few months, as that September 11th bipartisanship has given way to a harsher political climate, she has grown bolder in her attacks. No longer is Hillary Clinton just speaking out on provincial New York concerns. Now she is taking on the Bush administration in tough, bold strokes.
My overriding concern and critique of this administration is that they have brought to Washington a vision of a future that I find troubling and very seriously lacking when it comes to putting us on the right track. This administration is turning its back on the future.
And now it's back to the future for Hillary Clinton as she returns to the spotlight in a very big way in a moment.
Mr. Goodwrench, who is this one and only GM expert? I gotta find this guy. So, Fred, you are Mr. Goodwrench?
That's right.
You say you're Mr. Goodwrench, but that guy says he's Mr. Goodwrench. Well, I'd have a little talk with Chirpy over there, but that's just me. That's how I roll. And you're Mr. Goodwrench.
That's right.
Huh. Will the real Mr. Goodwrench please step forward?
Find Mr. Goodwrench at over 7,000 GM dealerships nationwide.
All right, pal. Give me the bullhorn.
No.
Homeward bound, I wish I was homeward bound. Home, where my thoughts escaping. Home, where my music's playing. Home, where my love lies waiting silent.
The comforts of home. Priceless. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard. Accepted at home stores everywhere.
It's a beautiful morning.
I don't want to go jogging. I don't want to play hockey. All I want are nights with less pain, mornings with less stiffness, so Bo and I can go out early and catch up with all our friends.
Ask your doctor about once daily treatments for 24-hour relief of arthritis, pain, and stiffness. Call 1-888-MERC55 for more information.
E-server.
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 E-server. These are not normal servers.
They're better than that. They adjust and predict.
So you'll never say rats.
For systems like Linux and other types, too.
They love open standards. No kidding, it's true.
For big firms and small firms.
And those in the middle.
E-server's the answer to your business riddle.
They're flexible, bendable,
super reliable,
utterly viable.
Give them a triable.
IBM E-server X Series features the Intel Xeon processor.
Hi, I'm Jimmy Kimmel tonight, supermodel Tyra Banks and super co-host Jay Moore. With all this super, this show should add up to just be about average.
Jimmy Kimmel Live, coming up.
If you're getting married, we'll rent you a tuxedo package for as little as $50, which is pretty good, considering her dress probably cost as much as your car.
Rent 4 tuxedos, and the groom's is free.
You're gonna like the way you look. I guarantee it.
It only happens once a season. Wednesday, it's Macy's biggest one-day sale of the season. No coupons to clip, no passes to carry. Just our lowest prices of the season. 20 to 50% off jewelry and extra 20% off selections. Tees, capri, shorts, and tanks 50 to 75% off. 25 home items, your choice, $23.99. Our lowest prices of the season at Macy's biggest one-day sale of the season. Wednesday, Preview Day Tuesday, 8 a.m. to 11 p.m.
Experience the Buick Classic from June 16th through June 22nd at Westchester Country Club. See the PGA Tour's best players. Call 1-877-874-0769 for tickets today.
Here we go, fast walk, follow me.
The line that stretched outside this bookstore in New York City this morning grew from a careful choreography of publishing and politics.
Congratulations, our new #1 best-selling author.
It was here that Senator Clinton would sign a few of the first 1 million copies, published in 17 languages, and of course she had to field the inevitable question.
Well, that's obviously flattering, but I have a wonderful job that I am very proud to have, which is representing the people of New York in the United States Senate.
You think she's going to run for president? She's definitely going to run for president. She's going to win. I'm going to vote for her. She's going to win. She's going to take it all. She is.
They lined up too in Little Rock and in Chicago, her other hometowns, where the new book was already selling briskly.
We can't hardly keep it out on the floor. We keep restocking the books left and right.
I think it's going to definitely be a page-turner.
I think it's good that she's humanizing herself and showing her tender side.
I think she's probably trying to clear the air prior to running for president.
On the airwaves, too, Hillary and her new book were all the buzz.
What'd you think?
She acquitted herself pretty well, I believe.
Who did?
Ms. Clinton, she seemed candid, controlled, but then that she always has.
So, what'd you think, Bernie?
But she came off as an ice-cold fish.
I would like candid and controlled.
Hi, how are you?
And once again, the former First Lady was right back in that old familiar role she had just begun to shed as New York's junior senator, that familiar part of human lightning rod.
The book itself, Living History, does it go in the fiction section of the library or nonfiction section of the library?
She irks me.
She irks you?
Yes.
What is it about her that irks you?
Because it's just like Bill. How can you tell when he lies because his lips move?
She's got to keep her name in front of in the national media, and she's certainly not doing that as the senator from New York.
Let's turn to Hillary Clinton.
I'm not a big Hillary supporter, but I have to tell you, I think this is a mature, smart woman who has been hurt by public life in many ways and, of course, been helped by it.
I personally felt it was a waste of time. It was basically a puff piece that appeared to be intended to basically rehabilitate Hillary's image to help her in a run for office.
Her publisher's publicity machine, after all, had cranked up plenty of interest with high-profile appearances. Katie Couric this morning, the cover of Time magazine, Barbara Walters in prime time last night. All of which leads back to that inevitable question.
Would you say no?
Absolutely, I'd say no.
Okay, no to 2004. 2008. I know you're not going to tell me whether or not you'll throw your hat in the ring. Okay. But do you think that if you did, is this country ready to accept you, do you think, as a national candidate?
I don't have any intentions or plans of running. I'm flattered that the question gets asked.
Every day.
And I hope that it will lead to a woman running for president.
Every Politico that I talk to, Republican, Democrat, campaign consultants, everybody believes that she has national ambitions, that she didn't leave the White House to stop at the U.S. Senate, that this is a temporary station for her until she tries to move on. She has it all going for her. She can raise money. She's smart. She's clearly ambitious. She knows what the White House is like. She knows policy and politics. The whole package is there.
But Hillary Clinton also faces some steep obstacles should she ever go down that road and run for national office. The latest ABC News poll asked Americans if they would like to see Hillary Clinton run for president. A clear majority of Americans, 53%, said no. Only 41% said yes. And nationally, as in New York, she very much splits American public opinion right down the middle. 44% say they have a favorable view. 48% have an unfavorable impression. So the Hillary factor remains as powerful as ever. When we come back, our regular update on the continuing dangers in Iraq.
To receive a daily email announcement about each evening's Nightline and a preview of special broadcasts, log on to the Nightline page at abcnews.com.
The Lexus ES, an automobile so luxurious, we've thought of everything, even special lease and financing rates.
This is a good time to remember that what we all need most is each other. And sometimes getting away is the best way of getting close. And with our summer savings sensation, you'll be getting away with plenty in Jamaica. One love, one heart. Come, let's get together.
It's Macy's biggest one-day sale Wednesday. Save 40 to 50% plus an extra 10% off Stearns & Foster's, Simmons, Spring Air, and Sealy mattresses. And our Simmons Special Purchase Queen Set, $599. Plus Sealy Posturepedic Closeouts. No payment or interest for 3 months when you spend $300. Free delivery when you spend $599. Macy's biggest one-day sale Wednesday. Preview Day Tuesday. Come to Macy's or call 1-800-MACY-BED.
There's no better place than Orlando to share great times with your family. And there's no better time to go than now. Introducing the Disney Fairy Tale Vacation Package. Get a 7-night Walt Disney World Vacation Package, including park tickets, for the price of a 4-night package. Call 407-WDW-SAVE. So take a vacation in a place known for bringing families closer. Orlando, bring your family together.
Another reminder that hostilities are not over in Iraq. Yet another American has been killed in the line of duty. Late last night at a checkpoint near the Syrian border, a U.S. soldier responded to the occupants of a car asking for medical help. When he approached, the American was shot dead. One of his attackers was killed, another was captured, and a third fled. And that's our report for tonight. I'm Chris Bury in Washington. For all of us here at ABC News, good night.
In times like these, thank goodness there's still a Nightline. Koppel brings a cool intelligence and perspective. American television's MVP. Cheers to Ted Koppel. No wonder more and more Americans are turning to Nightline.
If you think it's hot outside, wait until these cops turn on the heat. He's around the charm. He's got women issues.
You seem like a good catch.
Not talking. NYPD Blue, ABC Tuesday.